was made during World War II in Europe. It's a beautiful instrument. And I woke up one morning, I just had a really dark feeling. Okay, so this violin that I have here is pretty special because it was made during World War II in Europe. It's a beautiful instrument. But the reason I have it is because my other violin that I had used from the time I was 13 all the way through grad school and played it in Europe and all these, it carried me all the way through, was stolen. Basically, I had woken up, I was working for a violin shop at the time, and I woke up one morning, I was living with roommates, and I just had a really dark feeling first thing in the morning when I woke up, and it was to the point that it scared me, and I actually kneeled down and said a prayer that we'd be protected and everyone would be okay. I had no idea what was going on when I was feeling this way. And I remember having the thought that I should bring my violin with me to work. And I thought about it and I was like, well, no, I don't need it. And so I left the house without it. I get a call about half an hour into my work day while I'm at the violin shop. And my roommate says, you need to come home, we've been robbed. I drove quickly back home and there was a policeman there and everything. All of the stuff that was stolen was my stuff. So I had my entire lifetime collection of CDs, including performances that were irreplaceable. Like when I played for Busch Gardens, they were nice enough to record the performance that I participated in. One performance of the many I participated in. And that CD, that recording is missing, never were able to be replaced. My guitar was stolen. My laptop was stolen. The problem was I was getting ready to move, and so I had all this stuff out in the hallways and stuff, so they were able to pick and choose. And a bag of home videos, like there was one DVD on the top, and so they probably thought they were getting a bag of DVDs.
Yeah.
It probably just ended up in a dumpster, but I was working on a project of compiling all my performance footage from when I was a kid to that point, all of it gone. And I didn't even realize that my violin was gone, and the policeman's just standing there chewing his gum and saying, don't worry about it, people come through and steal laptops all the time. And I'm like, so I was after he left that I realized, and I just was thinking about work and going back to work and picturing the violins at work, and I thought, oh no, my violin. The insurance wouldn't pay for it because it was put under my parents' homeowner's insurance, and the insurance company said, well, because she's lived away from home so long, we're not going to cover it. So at any rate, but the good news is at least my prayer was answered. I prayed that we'd be protected. I actually had a roommate home, the one that called me at work. She was home at the time it happened.
Oh my goodness.
They broke in with a crowbar, back door, so it was all locked. We didn't leave anything unlocked,
Yeah.
They just broke in, stole all my stuff. There's one other laptop they stole from one of my roommates, but all the rest of the stuff was mine. It was about $6,000 worth of stuff, which for a college student, or someone just graduated from college, right?
Yeah.
All your worldly possessions, basically. And people used to ask me if I felt violated, and I didn't really feel that way, but I missed my stuff,
Right.
But I'm glad she was protected. She just thought that we were making a lot of noise getting ready in the morning and people laughing and stuff like that. And she just had worked the night shift or something and just rolled over and went back to sleep. And then when she woke up and she realized what had happened, she started calling us to come home.
Oh my gosh.
So
it wasn't until you were going into work at the shop that
I got back to work and it dawned on me that my violin was gone too. And it's funny, the little things that I miss, because obviously you can replace the guitar, you can replace the laptop, you can replace the violin. And but my brother had written me a poem about me and my violin when he was really young, and I'd had that in my case, and my mom had hand quilted a cloth for my violin that was gone. She made me another one, but it's just that bag of performances and all those CDs from concerts I had given, that was really hard. So they did track down my laptop because it had low jack protection on it, and so I was able to track where it was. And they issued a warrant for the girl's arrest that had it, but she never showed up to court. And so the trail basically went cold and nothing ever happened. And I remember praying, that I'd get my stuff back and stuff, and I had a good feeling about it. And it hasn't exactly happened, but I have been able to replace it. So I got this wonderful instrument with the help of family. My dad, I think, traded in like 4 different instruments to try to bring down the price. And
oh my gosh. Tell me about the one that was missing.
It was the one violin that this maker had made when he was studying at Peter Prayer Violin Making School. So a Simo Turin. It had a nice red color, very sweet tone, kind of soft, not really a projecting instrument, but it was, like I said, sometimes you don't even need that. I mean, I was assistant concert master at Interlochen on that $3,000 instrument. I mean, you don't need a $20,000 instrument. You just have to learn how to play it well.
Right.
But I have loved, once this got, I got the right strings, I got the right bridge set up and everything on here. It's really starting to sing, and I think it's finally resigned itself that I'm going to be its owner. Having a relationship with an instrument is like having a relationship with a person, like I really get a sense about instruments. I've tried other instruments in other shops, and sometimes it's like the violin itself is saying, I don't know if I want you to own me.
One that you lost is called
the maker his name was Simo Turunen. Simo, S-I-M-O, and last name T-U-R-U-N-E-N. I think I got the spelling of the last name right. Anyway,
and that would have been written inside the violin, right?
There's no model number or anything, so you can't track it on a database or anything. But if anyone finds it, maybe they bought it at a pawn shop and it's hiding in their closet or something. That's
what city were you in when it was stolen?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
Nice, quiet neighborhood.
Unexpected.
Totally unexpected.
Sad.
Yes. And the place that I worked in, which was the Park City Conservatory of Music, which no longer exists, they had a little office there in Salt Lake City where I taught violin lessons. It was broken into in the same way on the same day. So I believe I was being targeted. I don't think it was just someone coming through stealing laptops. And there's more to the story too. I actually went to my neighbor's house a few days before the robbery happened to introduce myself, and I brought my violin to play for it. I remember they asked me how much it was worth, and I usually don't tell anybody, but I said, I usually don't tell anyone, but it was about this, And so the day before the robbery, I had come home from work early, and I was sitting in my apartment, and so I heard someone try the doorknob, and I thought it was one of my roommates about to come in. And I had just made cookies that day, ironically, and to surprise them. And so I was like, oh, they can't catch me. They can't know I made the cookies. So I just turned off all the lights and laid down on the couch so that they wouldn't see me when they came in. But no one came in the door. So I think that's why they ended up going to the back door, because they were trying the door to see if they could break into the front door. So yeah, there's a lot to this story. And I put up flyers and everything, and, was visiting pawn shops and talking to people trying to track down my violin, but it wasn't in the cards, I guess.
No. Maybe it will be in the future.
Maybe. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe 30 years from now, someone will be like,
back.
Look, here's your violin. You never know.
You never know. And this one right here, let me get a little closer.
This one is a Dieudonné, made in France during World War II. I believe it's 1939. You can see that. Let me see. Oh, actually, it was 1942. I really like the color of this. It's a little bit deceiving because it's such a dark color. You would think it has a really dark sound.
Yeah,
it has a very bright sound actually, and so I try to temper that with strings that bring out the warmth of it more. And the bridge has been thinned also because one of the makers I took it to, John Morose, he had studied these type of instrument and said it actually needs a thinner bridge for this particular maker and this particular style. And that really helped. For a long time I had a viola bridge on it that Aude had made, and it was boosting the lower strings really well, but it also sounded like I had a microphone on my violin all the time, and that wasn't the answer for me in the end.
Right.
But it took me a long time to change it because it was sentimental, because I used to work for Adam. Anyway, we're all good.
That's beautiful. On the video, it looks lighter color than it does in person. So I'm just making a note to those who are watching that it is a very deep, darker
mahogany
color than shows up on the video. So, it's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
May it return to you someday.
Thank you.